Are you a boy or a girl?
Is it he or she or they or what?
That's so in right now to be like hashtag gender fluid.
Where do you shop, in the men's or the women's section?
Or unisex?
Unisex! That word needs to die!
So what's going on down there?
None of your business.
I have had this many times.
It's this fixation to know they have to know because what they see is unclear.
People don't even bother to ask me. They sort of forcibly tell me in the street, you've got this genitalia.
And they can just go along and walk past people in the street and just sort of tick off like...
Vagina, penis.
Vagina, penis,
Ooh, I feel less anxious now.
Your genitals have nothing to do with your gender anyway.
Those two organs don't identify your whole life, and they shouldn't.
That's so trendy right now. Hashtag gender fluid.
I can see this person.
I mean, look at this coat.
I'm just like hip and down with the kids, you know.
We may have struggled to find the identity to understand who and what we are, but this isn't a fad.
Non-binary is like a term that people can use where I don't want to identify as male or female.
Don't identify with having a gender because I found it really restrictive.
I think the main issue just comes from the idea of people thinking that they can explain your gender back to you. So it's like, I'm non-binary, they're like, oh no, you're trans.
It's complex. I don't know, some non-binary people identify as transgender, others don't.
I don't think it's more trendy now. I think our existence is actually being recognised.
Yeah, we're actually being spoken about.
It's reaching people who are going to be confused, like I was, and they're going to be upset and not know what's going on, then they're going to see that word and hopefully it'll mean something to them.
So like you see someone who, and you can relate to it and you're like, oh yeah, lol, that's me.
Yeah.
What toilet do you use?
I kind of find myself having a breakdown about that on the daily.
Whichever one I please.
Like the amount of times that I've gone into women's bathrooms and it's like, oh, this is the women's bathroom?
This woman in Mackie D's, McDonald's, like laughed at me and was like, ha ha ha, thought you were a man.
And I was literally dragged out of the club by them and was asked, do I carry a card to identify whether I am trans or I should be using that toilet?
I don't like to go in the male toilets at all because it's like I will be looked at, people think I'm a pervert.
I will use male toilets unless I feel unsafe.
I know that I definitely don't feel safe in a men's bathroom.
At the end of the day, a toilet is somewhere where you go and have a shit. So what does it matter what gender you are?
I saw this tweet once that was like, you know you all have gender neutral bathrooms in your house.
But were you born a man or a woman?
I mean, what is a man and what is a woman?
What's a person?
You're assigned gender, you're assigned sex.
I wasn't born with a penis, so...
You can be a boy and you can like flowers.
Yeah.
They want to term all your behaviours as either like a feminine or a masculine.
You can be a girl and you can like cars.
Then determine which they think you're more strong in and put you in that box.
I know, what do you know? The comments on this video, there are only two genders. Oh, I identify as an attack helicopter.
That's not natural.
This isn't natural, let's be honest.
It literally is though. Like, what?
Is marriage natural? Like, have you ever seen two squirrels, like one in a suit, one in a white dress, like with a sparrow marrying them in the forest? No.
Non-binary identity has been existing since the beginning of time.
You see other societies and cultures out there and they don't have this very strict two-box rule.
In the Torah, there are like over 6 or 7 genders.
Like Native Americans had 4 genders.
I think it's India, there's third gender.
Because there are so many examples in the animal kingdom. Snails are hermaphrodites.
Male seahorses give birth to their children.
Clownfish change sex halfway through their life.
Yeah.
Which is a Finding Nemo sequel I'd like to see.
Is it he or she?
I mean, thank you for asking.
2 options, he or she. Babes.
But there's he and she, they, their, ze, ze, fee as well.
It can be confusing for someone because they don't know what you're presenting as necessarily.
From about 6 feet away, they presume me to be female, and then they get closer and they're like, oh.
I went in one shop and they're like, okay, sir, yeah, we'll keep on to that, thank you, sir. I walk into another shop 10 minutes later and they're like, yes, madam, I can't fucking win.
If someone wants those pronouns used for them, then like, that's why it's important.
Any thought that I would be assumed female is like just the most uncomfortable feelings.
And also like people do get pronouns wrong sometimes, but just like correct yourself and it's fine.
And people are like, oh no, but I actually like really struggle changing pronouns because I've known you for a really long time. I'm like, yeah, imagine what it must be like to actually be a non-binary person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're struggling with grammar, I'm struggling with life.
Do you shop in the men's or women's section?
Both is good.
Both is good.
I don't understand why we're still saying this is a female piece of clothing or this is a male piece of clothing.
You have this whole store of all these wonderful things that you could open your mind to. Like,
Sometimes I'll wear a crop top.
Some days I would play with Barbies and wear a fairy dress.
And sometimes I'll wear a suit.
Other days I'd be in a Thunderbirds costume.
but I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. This is my sort of armour and my portrayal of how I feel inside.
I remember from my 12th birthday I got Hulk boxer shorts off my mum and I was
beautiful.
I was a happy little queer.
Are you gay? Yes.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely.
As soon as they see somebody who's slightly more feminine portraying, it's instantly, you're gay.
Sexuality, gender, completely different things.
It's not a thing where your identity and outward portraying image is connected to your sex or sexuality or anything like that.
You define the labels don't define you. So you can bring your own definition to whatever label.
On my forehead or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on a fucking t-shirt.
But I don't get it!
Then learn! Like,
That's okay. It's really okay to not understand.
ain't hurting anyone.
You know, despite the fact that everybody's experience is different, it's just so refreshing to meet somebody else whose pronouns are also they and their.
Then like actually having a label is like really, really important.
Yeah. It creates a lot of solidarity too.
It's just a nice warm fuzzy feeling, isn't it?
I love queer people.
I love the queers.